Welcome back to the SA Sports Show. I'm here with Brendan McKeough, former football player and current coach at Ardrossan Football Club. Brendan, thanks for joining me.
Thanks, George. Welcome to Air Diffusion.
Thanks for having me. So, just as we start, can we talk a bit about your background in football?
Yeah, look, I started at obviously junior footballer at Ranella Football Club, great football club, the Wineflies, and then moved on and was lucky enough to move on to South Adelaide there for 7 years, which was great. Loved every moment of it. Great football club as well. And then, after the 7 years there, it was sort of, was only really a fringe football player, so I decided to go back to my home club, Ranella, again, and stayed there for the next sort of 9 to 10 years, but did have a year in between at Ardrossan as well.
So now you're involved in coaching. What made you decide to make the transition?
Oh, look, to stay involved in footy, basically. Obviously, as my wife would tell me, I got too fat to play football. So she said, look, to try and stay involved in football. So I thought coaching's obviously the perfect scenario. I think I've got a little bit to give, being at, sort of that South Adelaide level and learning a fair bit from them, and also Ranella. So I thought, it'd be great to stay involved in footy. So had an opportunity at Kenilworth Footy Club, which gave me my first coaching role. Finished up there just recently and was lucky enough to get a phone call from a friend over in Ardrossan who were looking for a footy coach, and I didn't knock it back.
And I understand there's a bit of culture and a background, a bit of a connection with you and Ardrossan Football Club.
There is, yeah. My father actually lived in Ardrossan for a few years, so over the summer time I'd head over there and have a bit of fun, obviously, and got to know a fair few people over there, and like I said, I ended up playing a year over there and really enjoying the football. Yeah.
So how far is the drive? I understand it's quite a long way.
Yeah, so obviously I work here at Lonsdale, Air Diffusion, and it's about 2.5 hours. So I'm lucky enough to have a good boss. She lets me leave at 3:30 on a Thursday, and so I get to Ardrossan around about 6:10. Yeah. So take training, goes for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then I get jump back in the car and head home. So there's a bit of time to think about things, and it gives me an opportunity to think about football and see what sort of drills we can do that night anyway, because I don't really get a chance at work.
So obviously a lot of commitment for, to drive all the way down there and back.
Yeah.
Is it mostly once a week? Or?
So a Thursday night I'll head up there. Tuesday nights we've got a really good B grade coach by the name of Wack Werfel who will take training on a Tuesday night for me. We've got quite a big contingent of blokes from Ardrossan that live in Adelaide. So we do a training session in Adelaide on a Tuesday, and then everyone sort of heads up on the Thursday night for a training session up there. So it's good.
So you're involved in the senior teams?
Yes, the A grade. Yeah, the A grade.
And what are your predictions for this year for the team? How do you think they'll go?
Yeah, look, we've gone through quite a few changes. A lot of the Adelaide boys that were recruits to the footy club, we've decided to sort of move on, unfortunately. We've sort of tried to look to rejuvenate the list a little bit. With a new coach coming in, we've tried to make the squad a little bit younger. So we've gone for a specific age group of around about 20 to 24 in regards to recruiting. Hopefully that these guys stick around for the next 3 to 4 years. So we struggle to fill, with Ardrossan being such a small town, we really do struggle to fill 2 full senior sides. So it's really important to us that we do recruit some guys from Adelaide to come over and play on the weekend and recruit the right people, the blokes that really want to be at our footy club as well.
And leading on from the recruitment process for such a rural country club, how do you find that? And is the players as keen to make the trip down there to join the club?
When they get a nice little envelope after the game, there's certainly a lot of interest. Yeah. But obviously we play by the rules. There is a community football league or board as such. So there is a specific salary cap that we need to stick to, and we do that. In fact, we probably won't even reach the salary cap. But what I've found is, there is a fair bit of money floating around in the country leagues. A few guys we've spoken to, the figures that they put forward, we can't compete with, unfortunately. So we do look for guys that, obviously have got a bit of talent, but also will bring something actually to the football club, not just come over and play, then get in their car and head back home. Ardrossan's a very inclusive community, and any player that comes over will find that out.
So how does Ardrossan compare to other country clubs?
Well, I'm not sure about the other country clubs. I've only ever been to Ardrossan, but to me, it's everything in the community revolves around the footy club, and the footy club is really important to them. They haven't had a lot of success lately. I think their last premiership was in the mid-2000s, and they'd only made the finals once since then. So They're really looking to improve that side of the game, or that side of football, because the football club is the epicentre of the community. Everything revolves around the footy club. So it's important to a town like Ardrossan to have a successful footy side. And
Did you say there's a strong culture behind the club?
Oh, certainly. Yeah, extremely. Extremely strong culture. Yes, yeah.
Would you say that was what's keeping you there?
Yeah, I would say so. They really have got they've got big ambitions. They want to be a successful footy club. And, when Greg Ware, who's a farmer on the peninsula, gave me a call towards the end of last year about the role, he pitched it perfectly to me in regards to what they want to achieve and how they want to achieve it. Now I've just got to try and do it.
Well, so with the club and focusing on this season in particular, are there any new things that you've brought into the team or any new ideas? Or
Yeah, not to beat up on any coaches that had been there, but obviously, going over there with some structure and some game plans and, just the simple things with kick-outs and kick-ins. You'd be surprised with probably some country footy clubs that just don't get the time to do that, because I didn't really get a hold of all the Ardrossan footballers until the end of January, because they were doing harvest. So it's really condensed. So you need to really work on things over an 8-week period or whatever. But I found just going to Ardrossan that there is a little bit lacking in regards to setups and game plans and all that zone type work. It's hard to implement because some nights you just don't get the numbers to training, because these guys are farmers. So then first and foremost, they've got to be out working on the farm. So when they do get the training, we do need to really concentrate on those side of things of the game.
Yeah, it's a big difference between city clubs and country clubs.
Huge.
What more can you tell me about the difference and what it means for football clubs?
Yeah, coming from a strong local footy club in Ranella, we would have any one time 50 to 55 blokes on the training track on a Thursday night. Going to Ardrossan, I'm lucky to get 25 sometimes. Okay, so over there, a lot of the guys work for themselves. Okay, they all own their own piece of farm over there. So they need to work, and first and foremost, they've got to be on the farm working there. So training sort of is a little bit of a secondary in some cases, but that's probably the major difference compared to a town club to a country club, is the fact that the numbers, like I said, we got 25 at Ranella on a Thursday night. There's 55 blokes out there, and every time you turn around, you run into someone. So that, to me, would be the major difference between the two. Yeah.
And how is the difference between funding? Because obviously funding makes a big difference in recruitment of players and even coaches alike. So
look, because we are community-based and a community-based country town, a lot of people put their hands in their pockets. A lot of the businesses there put their hands in their pockets because they want the footy club to strive and succeed. So financially, I think Ardrossan are in a pretty good spot. It's just a matter of getting the wins on the field now.
That's great. Well, Brendan, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks, George.
Back to you, Phil.
Thanks, George. Poppy, now we need to get on to all the things that are going to happen this weekend, and there is a lot. So I'm going to start with this one first.
Yep.
Crows women up against Brisbane at Metricon Stadium.
Fantastic that the Crows have made it, and congratulations also to the Brisbane ladies team. Fantastic. They've been the best sides in the competition this year. And I've got to preface what I'm about to say with this. That is that I had my doubts about the women's competition. But I actually felt myself compelled to watch it.
Why? Why were you compelled to watch it?
Well, because it was very competitive. The women threw themselves. There was plenty of contests. And in fact, when you see the men play now, it's so smooth moving that you sort of crave that physical contact that the women were showing us. The skills are poor. They need to work on that, obviously. But you know what? It's all come crashing down right when it should build to an absolute crescendo, because I think we would have got 30 to 50,000 people at Adelaide Oval. And you say, well, Brisbane earned the right.
Brisbane earned the right.
No, don't say that, because, well, you could say it, but I tell you what, we play the men's grand final at the MCG every single year, no matter who's playing. You know why? It's the best venue for the occasion. It fits 100,000 people in. Adelaide Oval, we all can see, probably is the best venue, despite the fact it doesn't have the capacity of the MCG. It's the best venue. Adelaide have proven they can draw a crowd. Adelaide Oval has proven over the last few years it can draw a big crowd because of its location. I can tell you right now, there'll be nobody. I'm just about to lose it. There'll be nobody
Pop the top
at the game between Brisbane and the Adelaide Crows in Brisbane. No one goes to see the men play. Sorry.
Jeez.
No one sees the men play.
Umbrella anyone?
I can tell you, Smothy, correct me if I'm wrong. I reckon they've made a mistake here. I know it gives Adelaide an advantage. It doesn't matter. This isn't about the winning team. This is about the sport winning. And to win, you need the correct venue, you need a great crowd, and everything else will build from that in the years to come.
What makes you think they won't get a great crowd at Metricon?
Well, they may well, but
the men play after, which is unfortunate.
Well, the men play afterward. But I can tell you right now, I'm going to have a go at administrators here. If Brisbane are programmed to play the first game of the AFL season, why have we got Adele playing on the Oval?
Because Adele pays a lot of money.
Well,
so there were 2 concerts there. Now, in fairness, the curator put the new turf down 4 weeks before, as he was supposed to do.
I don't
the Adele concert started, tore up the turf. The AFL went, had a look at the ground, spoke to the curator, and deemed the ground unsafe.
Well, then you can't have Adele there prior to the game.
Well, perhaps if it was an AFL game, it may have been different, but it was the women's game. They thought they could get away with it. Now, in saying that, Gillon McLachlan then went and met with the people at Brisbane. He met with the coach, he met with the captain.
I think I popped an artery in my eye now.
Asked them if they would consider playing the game in Adelaide.
Yes.
They both said no.
Now,
if you were coaching,
said no?
The captain and the coach of Brisbane. Now, if you were the captain, you were the coach.
Of course they're going to say no. What's he expecting to say?
Well,
make the decision. When does the AFL ever let the clubs and they always rule with an iron fist?
The agreement was the team that finished first got the home ground advantage.
Well,
so
you know
can't.
what?
So the home ground advantage.
Brisbane are putting themselves in front of the welfare of the game.
70 minutes down the road to Metricon.
Yes.
2.5 hour fly to Adelaide. I think it's a tough choice. If you were Brisbane, you'd be making that choice. So I see where you're coming from.
I get it.
But
I get that they've earned the advantage. I'm not disputing that. This is bigger than the Brisbane Footy Club. This is the welfare of women's football in their first year.
Then let's have it at the MCG.
Well, let's have it at the MCG.
Well, they can't. There's games on.
But you know, you'd get 30,000 there. It looks empty. You get 30,000 at Adelaide Oval. Now, I might be wrong in the sense that well, there's 2 parts of this. One is, it should be a standalone game.
Yep.
It should be a standalone game. They're a curtain raiser. A grand final is a curtain raiser to a round 1 match. Is that what you're telling me?
That's what they're saying.
Well,
that's what they're saying. What happened if they played, let's say we gave them Adelaide Oval.
We used to have the under-10s as a curtain raiser.
What if they chomped up the ground Friday night and it was in shocking condition for the Crows to play there on Sunday? Adelaide Oval got chomped up. Rain came, Oval got messed up. The AFL came in and said, oh, that's unsafe. Oh, hang on a minute. The Crows, sorry. You'll have to go and play your game at GWS. Would you let that happen?
Well,
would you let that happen?
No, but you know what? We've become too precious about the state of the Oval.
Remember you're protecting the athletes.
Well, they're protecting the athletes. Okay, we're protecting the athletes. You know what? We've got to be protecting the game. It's pretty competitive out there. All I'm saying is the administrators need to get their stuff together, right?
Act together, yes.
Because there's 2 mistakes here. One is the timing of Adele leading up to round 1.
Yep.
If there's any doubt whatsoever, and they'll say, well, there was no doubt. Well, there was doubt because it's proven to happen.
Well, it's happened now.
Right?
Yep.
And 2, I'm going to...
You've blown a fuse. All right,
I'm going to start choking on my own vomit.
Okay, let's see if you can calm down a little bit. Redbacks up against Victoria, starting in the Sheffield Shield second time.
What? I'm serious. So let me get this right. Victoria playing the Redbacks. Where are they playing the Sheffield Shield final?
Alice Springs.
Oh, for goodness sake. What are they playing in Alice Springs for?
Well, the MCG is not available.
How many people are going to travel from South Australia and Victoria to Alice Springs to watch a Sheffield Shield final? They hog Adelaide Oval all year and no one goes, right?
Yes.
No one goes. Then they get the final, the only game that anyone would possibly go to, and we're going to play it in Alice Springs.
Need more passion.
No, but what is going on, Phil? Please tell me what is going on. What's going on? We've got AFL being played, not at the Gabba.
Yep.
Where is it?
Metricon Stadium.
And we've got the Sheffield Shield final being played at Alice Springs.
Yep.
You tell me that makes sense. Tell me that.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, I'm not the only one. Why are you not getting as frustrated as I am, Phil?
Well, because
it's the end of the week, actually. I think I'm losing my stuff.
I don't want to touch back on it, but I can see that Brisbane are playing in Queensland.
Right.
So they're okay.
So they're in the state.
They're in the state, and they're going to get their supporters, their fans. So I agree with you that it should be at the Gabba, but then you're saying that Metricon's not a good enough venue for them to play it. Now,
well,
I think it's probably a better venue, to tell you the truth, than the Gabba.
Well, there's two parts of this. One is, if the Gabba's the home of football and cricket or whatever it is, we're playing footy there.
Yep.
We're only playing...
Well, Metricon's the home of footy.
Well, hang on a minute.
On the Gold Coast.
So Brisbane playing their games this year at the Gabba or Metricon?
Well, where are Gold Coast playing?
Well, I don't know. Where
they're
playing?
both in the AFL, aren't they?
Well, they're both in the AFL, but which is the premium ground?
I reckon Metricon is.
Oh, maybe I went off too early on that.
No, you're right. Gabba's the ground.
No, I think so. But you know what?
With
Let's get back to this Alice Springs thing. Why?
Right.
Tell me, why are we playing it there?
I don't
Please.
know. I don't know the answer to that. I would imagine. Well, last year South Australia played Victoria in the final.
I'm serious.
It was at Glenelg Oval last year.
Yeah. Well, you know what? How many people they get there? We were there.
Yeah.
It was full. It was full for
It was a good crowd. Yeah, well, South Australia were playing.
Well, South Australia are playing in this one too, aren't they?
They are.
Well, what are we playing at Alice Springs for? You know what? They're better off playing at bloody border town in between Victoria and South Australia. You get more people going to border town.
Well, you possibly will.
Well,
but in saying that, the AFL starts this weekend.
I want you to name now one person. One person that's going to go that isn't playing in the game. Name one person. That said to you, I can't wait to go.
To where? To Alice Springs?
Oh, now I'm going to lose it with you. To Alice Springs.
From Alice Springs or from Adelaide?
From Adelaide. No one's going to go.
Jake Lehman's going.
You know what?
But he's playing.
There'll be some players that don't want to go there.
Well, there probably are, but it's a grand final. Look, can I just ask you this? Are they a chance to win it?
Yeah,
we played Victoria back in November, lost to them.
I never lose it.
You lost to them by 5 wickets.
Yeah.
We played them here in February, lost to them by 124 runs.
Yeah.
Are we closing the gap? Can we get over the top? Now, our bowlers have been terrific this year.
Our bats, we need Fergie and Head and these sort of blokes to actually make a decent score. That's what we need. That's the shortfall we've had against the Vic.
So you're going for South Australia or Victoria?
Well, I'll go for South Australia, of course.
In Alice Springs?
Well, you know what?
It's a neutral ground.
It's very much a neutral ground.
It's closer for us than them. Okay. Crows and Brisbane, you are going for, even though it's at Metricon Stadium, not at the Gabba?
I'm going to go for Adelaide. Of course, how can I go for Brisbane? Even if I thought Brisbane could win, I'm going to support Adelaide.
All right, now what about John Coates? How do you see his position? I just want to finish with the final rev.
No, but don't, because I'm
no, take a breath.
My age,
take a breath.
I can top off any time.
Mate. You could.
But let me tell you.
Yes.
I didn't realise that the IOC,
the International Olympic
Committee,
yep,
are paid more administratively to run the IOC than they actually give to the athletes that perform for Australia.
Yes. So you got the Australian Olympic Committee.
But you know what? This is really annoying me that you just said yes, like, yeah, what's the problem? You've represented Australia at 5 World Championship, 4 Olympic Games. Can't you see what the problem is?
Yeah, I didn't get any money.
This is what I'm saying is the problem. The IOC, he's getting $700,000 as head of the IOC, and administratively, they're getting paid. The administrators, the people that write,
so you're talking about
are getting paid more than the athletes.
The Australian Olympic Committee or the International Olympic Committee?
The IOC.
Yeah, well, he's vice president of the International Olympic Committee.
Yeah.
He's president of the Australian Olympic Committee.
And they're getting more than the athletes.
Yes. Yes.
Well, what are you saying? Yes, yes, yes.
Well, I'm agreeing with you, but it's not going to change.
Well, it has to change.
Well, it's not going to.
How has it happened like this? It's not going to change if blokes like you go, it's not going to change. Guess
no,
what?
you can get in there and fight the system. All right, let me ask you this. Gillon McLaughlin, highest paid person in the AFL. We're probably the only sport AFL in the world.
This could be my last show because I am going to punch someone.
All right, well,
I'm serious.
Let me just say, from a distance. Am I out of reach? You wouldn't punch me on me, mate. Okay. Gillon McLaughlin earns more money than any player playing in the AFL. I can't think of another sport around the world where the boss of that code
crazy. We got the heads of banks getting paid, a kabillion. I'm not sure if that's official, but a fair bit of money.
Kabillion.
We've got the head of Australia Post getting paid
another
so much
kabillion.
money, at least. And they're losing money. At least the AFL is making money.
Yes.
We got the head of the AOC and the vice president of the IOC.
Getting paid too much money.
Have we just about run out of time?
So, in the end, what you're saying, the administrators are getting paid too much. More needs to come back to the sport.
I think they're losing touch with the people that make sport, and that is the people that support sport and the people that compete in sport.
I don't disagree with
That's
you.
what makes sport. Administratively, they should go in initially with at least love for it. And now that he's being challenged with someone who's a gold medalist herself and say, I'll do the job for nothing.
Tony Roach, yep.
$3 million they'll save in the lead up to Tokyo of 2020. Tell me why that isn't a better idea.
Oh, it's a better idea. No question.
No, tell me why it's not a better idea. You can't, can you?
No, I can't. And I'm too scared to, because if I do, you'll punch me.
No, I won't punch. I'm all talk. But the thing is this. I just get frustrated.
I am
Have you
relieved.
noticed it?
I am relieved that the show has come to an end, because I'm worried about a couple of things here. You could have a heart attack.
I need to lie
Or you
down.
could
I'm
possibly
serious, I need to lie down.
Go and have a little rest. Hope you've enjoyed the show, everybody. Poppy's going to have a lie down. Look forward to your company next week. Bye, everybody.
So hot and sweaty.
Yes, thank George. Thank George. Thanks, George. That's what I'm coming back with, aren't I? Thanks, George.
Just write that down. Thanks,
Come
George.
on, mate.